A, roll call. SB 347 Jackson Firearms. Do pass. B, roll call. SB 443 Mitchell, forfeiture of controlled substances. Do pass as amended to remove provisions regarding reallocation of revenue, remove provisions regarding attorney's fees and court-appointed counsel for civil asset forfeiture proceedings. Other technical amendments require conviction for asset forfeiture. Republicans not voting. SB 507 Pavley, sexually violent predators. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 518 Leno, victims of violent crimes trauma recovery centers. Hold in committee. SB 519 Hancock, victims of crime. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 621 Hertzberg, mentally ill offender crime reduction grants. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 635 Nielsen, erroneous conviction and imprisonment compensation. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 674 DeLeon, victims of crime, non-immigrant status. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 694 Leno, new evidence writ of habeas corpus. Holding committee. SB 707 Wolk, firearms, gun-free school zone. Do pass. B, roll call. SB 722 Bates, sex offender GPS monitoring removal. Do pass as amended to remove the rebuttable presumption that the person intended to evade supervision. A. A. General government packet, starting with SB 7 Wolk, housing housing, I know, housing, water sub-meters and multiple unit structures. Do pass as amended to modify the installation and maintenance of sub-meter provisions and make other technical changes. SB 21. Oh, sorry. B, roll call.
You tried.
I tried. I know you're there. SB 21 Hill requires disclosure of donations to pay for travel of public officials. Do pass.
A.
A, roll call. SB 25 Roth, local government finance, property tax revenue allocation, vehicle license fee adjustments for newly incorporated cities. Do pass with technical amendments. A, roll call. SB 27 Hill, use of antimicrobial drugs on livestock. Do pass with minor technical amendments. A, roll call. SB 61 Hill, extend sunset on ignition interlock device pilot study. Do pass.
A.
SB 64 Liu, oversight of California transportation plan. Do pass.
A.
A, roll call. The last two.
A, roll call on SB 61 and SB 64. SB 178 Leno, search warrants for electronic communications. Do pass with amendments to clarify procedures for voluntary disclosure, seizure of unrelated information, authentication of information provided by service providers and retention of sensitive information relating to child abuse. Republicans not voting. SB 229 Roth, funding new Superior Court judgeships. Do pass with amendments to establish 12 new judgeships and reduce the appropriation to $5 million to cover funding needs for January 1 through January 30th of 2016. A roll call. SB 239 Hertzberg, Local Services LAFCO approval of fire prevention service contracts. Do pass with amendments to narrow the requirements of fiscal analysis, exclude some contract renewals, and make other technical amendments. B roll call. SB 249 WESO authorizes issuance of enhanced driver's license. Do pass with technical and clarifying amendments. A roll call. SB 251 Roth, facilitate compliance with construction-related accessibility standards. Do pass. A roll call. SB 257 Bates, allowed for personalized Gold Star family license plates. Hold in committee. SB 330 Mendoza, expand conflict of interest statute. Hold in committee. SB 331 Mendoza, local agency contracts, open negotiations for goods and service contracts. Do pass. B roll call. SB 387 Jackson, State Bar annual dues and audit of the State Bar. Do pass with amendments requiring the State Bar to comply with the California Public Records Act and the Bagley-Keynes Open Meetings Act. A roll call. SB 400 Lara, funding high-speed rail construction mitigation. Hold in committee. SB 441 Leno, San Francisco Redevelopment Housing Projects Bonding Authority. Do pass. SB 461 Hernandez, relinquishes on State Route 164. Do pass. A roll call. SB 467 Hill, DCA boards and bureaus sunset review issues and sunset extensions. Do pass as amended to restore the pro rata approval authority to DCA and the Department of Finance.
Not voting.
Republicans not voting. SB 468 Hill, Bureau of Security and Investigation Services sunset review. Do pass with amendments to streamline the psychological evaluation process, delay implementation date, and make other technical changes.
B.
SB 469 Hill, sunset extension for the State Athletic Commission. Do pass. A roll call. SB 477 Leva, adding mobile homes to the property tax postponement program. Hold in committee. SB 513 Bell, expand and modify the Carl Memorial Program and AB 923 incentive programs. Do pass with clarifying amendments. B roll call. SB 536 Roth, authorizes the sale of 7 state armories. Do pass. A. SB 549 Hall, 50/50 sports raffles. Do pass with amendments to shorten sunset period to 3 years and include additional detail to reporting requirements on raffle fundraising and charities benefit and team and foundational charitable giving from activities other than raffles. A roll call. SB 573 PAN, statewide open porthole, data porthole. Hold in committee. SB 646 Jackson, Uniform Interstate Family Support Act federal compliance. Do pass with technical amendments. A roll call. SB 667 Jackson, waiting periods for state disability insurance. Do pass. A roll call. SB 682 Leno, contracting out by the courts. Do pass with amendments deleting the reporting requirement for 2015 contracts, exempt contracts for court traffic assistance program, plus clarifying amendments. B roll call. SB 696 Roth, principle based reserve methodology for life insurance. Do pass as amended to clarify trigger language only applies to the implementation of the new methodology and other technical clarifying non-controversial substantive changes. A roll call. SB 703 Leno prohibits state contractors from discriminating against their employees based on gender identity. Do passed with amendments deleting requirement for DGS to list contracts on websites. B, roll call. SB 736 VIDAC mandatory private escrow agents holding committee. SB 763 Leno juvenile products flame retardant chemicals labeling. Do pass with amendments to exclude products that do not contain flame retardants. Republicans not voting. Resources and utilities. SB 32 Pavley greenhouse gas reductions beyond 2020. Do pass with amendments to allow the legislature to adopt, modify, or reject provisions of the scoping plan and add a co-author. B, roll call. I should have guessed. SB 48 Hill Public Utilities Commission. Do pass with author amendments to make technical and other clarifications, and 2, add provisions to avoid chaptering out issues. A, roll call. SB 119 Hill Protection of Subsurface Installations. Do pass with amendments to 1, clarify financial penalties do not apply to individuals unless violations are willful, repeated, and flagrant. 2, require the advisory committee to recommend safe practices in agricultural settings. 3, add reporting requirements.
Not voting.
Republicans not voting. SB 144 PAN Basin Flood Control, Nokomis Basin Flood Control. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 162 Galgiani Treated Wood Waste. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 189 WESO Clean Energy and Low Carbon Economic and Job Growth Blue Ribbon Committee Holding Committee. SB 204 Pavley State Parks. Do pass with amendments to 1, change the competitive bidding threshold to 50,000. 2, delete a reporting requirement. A, roll call. SB 208 Laura Integrated Regional Water Management Plans, Grants, Advanced Payment. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 209 Pavley Smara. Do pass with contingent enactment provisions.
Not voting.
Republicans not voting. SB 223 Galgiani Invasive Aquatic Plants Oversight Committee. Holding Committee. SB 226 Pavley Sustainable Groundwater Management Act. Do pass with amendments to 1, delete
Not voting.
the adjudication process and make other clarifying revisions, and 2, join the bill to AB 1390 Alejo. Republicans not voting. SB 246, Wachowski, Climate Change Adaptation, do pass with amendments to revise update requirements.
B.
B, roll call. SB 295, Jackson, Pipeline Safety Inspections, do pass.
A.
A, roll call. SB 350, De Leon, Clean Energy and Pollution Reduction Act. I need to make a little statement on this bill before we give our verdict. There have and continue to be very productive and positive discussions about the many provision and components of SB 350. Thanks to all involved and engaged in this process, I fully expect that in the coming days there will be a significant and substantive set of amendments to SB 350 that will address various issues in the areas of energy efficiency, transportation electrification, and the renewable portfolio standard. These amendments will help to further clarify the pathway California will pave to achieve further greenhouse gas emission reductions in its continuing efforts to combat the global threat of climate change. With that being said, today this committee will move SB 350 as a do pass. B, roll call. SB 367, Wolk, Agricultural Lands GHG Reductions, Holding Committee. SB 398, LEVA, Green Assistance Program, Holding Committee. SB 414, Jackson, Oil Spill Response, do pass. A, roll call. SB 471, Pavley, Water and Energy Efficiency and GHG Reduction, Holding Committee. SB 541, Hill, Public Utilities Commission, for hire transportation carriers, do pass with clarifying amendments. A, roll call. SB 551, Wolk, Water and Energy Efficiency, Holding Committee. SB 555, Wolk, Water Loss Management, do pass. B, roll call. SB 612, Jackson, Hazardous Materials, do pass with technical and clarifying amendments. A, roll call. SB 637, Allen, Suction Dredge Mining, do pass. B, roll call. SB 645, De Leon, SB 654, De Leon, Hazardous Waste Facilities, do pass with amendments to require copies of renewal applications to be submitted to the independent review panel. B, roll call. SB 660, Leno, Public Utilities Commission, do pass. A, roll call. SB 662, Wachowski, Recycling. A, do pass. A, roll call. SB 664, Hertzberg, Seismic Risk, do pass. A, roll call. SB 673, Lara, Hazardous Waste, do pass. B, roll call. SB 758, Block, Atmospheric Rivers Research and Mitigation Program, do pass. A, roll call. SB 765, Wolk, California Market Transformation Administrator, Holding Committee. SB 788, McGuire, California Coastal Protection Act of 2015, Holding Committee. Labor and PERS. SB 128, De Leon. 185, De Leon. Pension divestiture from thermal coal investments. Do pass.
B.
B, roll call. SB 221, Jackson. Additional sick leave for state-hired disabled veterans. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 406, Jackson. Employment unpaid family leave. Do pass with amendments to add a co-author.
B.
B, roll call. SB 548, De Leon. Family child care providers collective bargaining. Do pass.
B.
B, roll call. Oh, this one's. SB 588, De Leon. Employment, non-payment of wages, judgment, enforcement.
B. Roll call.
Do pass with amendments to 1. Clarify that joint liability only applies to administrative actions by the Labor Commissioner and prohibits a private right of action relative to joint liability provisions. 2. Specify joint liability does not apply to property services performed at a primary residence. 3. Provide a 30-day notice before joint liability can be pursued in administrative action. 4. Reduce the bond amount from $150,000 to a tiered system beginning at $50,000 up to $150,000. 5. Provide employers with a 30-day notice to pay a final judgment before being subject to penalties. 6. Clarify that individual liability does not impact current litigation on the definition of employer. 7. Add a co-author. B, roll call. SB 599, Mendoza. Employment Public Transit Service Contracts. Do pass.
I did that on purpose. Sorry. B.
Thanks. B, roll call. Okay. SB 644, Hancock. LEAP program internships for persons with developmental disabilities. Do pass as amendment to add a 5-year sunset provision. A, roll call. The meeting is hereby adjourned.